Now, in addition to potentially reorganizing his government, Palestinian Authority President and Fatah Party leader Mahmoud Abbas has also just announced to Lebanon's Hezbollah-affiliated newspaper Al-Akhbar that he plans to impose new sanctions against the Gaza Strip, a move that could be disastrous for Gazans as well as for southern Israeli border communities around the Strip. This in an apparent bid to increase internal pressures on Hamas to surrender to the Palestinian Authority's demands for reconciliation. And reportedly, Cairo is in on the deal, which will be implemented in the coming days. Now, among the new sanctions, Abbas will reportedly work to prevent any goods from entering the Strip from Egypt. He'll also increase the customs taxes on goods coming in through Israel while preventing money transfers to Gaza through money changers. And he'll only open the Rafah border crossing a few days per month. Well, joining us now for analysis is Middle East expert Dr. Colonel Reuven Berko. Dr. Berko, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you.
All right. So first of all, do you think that this plan will have any change or any dramatic effect on Gaza, on Hamas, because sanctions have been imposed before and Hamas doesn't seem to be coming around?
I don't believe that any of these sanctions will make any difference by the Palestinian Hamas leaders. Maybe the standpoint of Egypt will do some influence on the leaders of Hamas. The only one who can change their mind in a way or another, and the Egyptians are known by using ways or others to convince them, are the Egyptians. Basically, in Gaza, we're speaking about a separate nation, a separate tribe, separate people oriented for long years to be belonged to the Muslim Brothers school of beliefs or systems, etc. They are more tended to be villagers and others. They are very, very different from those whom we or you could meet in the West Bank, people whom the tendency is more Westerns as a result of being open to Jordan and Gulf states. In short, we're speaking about two separate people claim to be one nation. It is very hard to create a fake story of a united nation as Palestinian state from nothing. We are speaking about totally two separate entities, one stuck to the belief that there should be created a Palestinian, an Islamic caliphate, which in this case of Gaza, it's a separate Palestinian Islamic Emirate, and that of Abu Mazen is a separate story, a conglomerate of PLO terror organizations. It cannot be, we could expect it.
Sure. But it's not likely that they'll join. Okay, so with that in mind then, because you're not the only one to say that it's very unlikely that the two Palestinian factions will ever reconcile, and in fact, a lot of people have said that the only reason they continue to talk about reconciliation is for propaganda or for appearance's sake.
I can tell you that in a vision of history, a short history of Palestinian story, the only thing that could unite them is the hatred toward Israel. And it seems today that even hatred to the Zionist enemy, the Jews, is not good enough to unite the rows of so-called Palestinians. Yes.
Okay, so then, again, these sanctions that Abbas is about to impose with the help of Egypt, as I said earlier, is that more likely going to have the opposite effect on the residents in Gaza?
There is no opposite effect because they are holding their positions. Hamas refuses to give the monopoly of power and weapon to the authority, to Palestinian Authority. So, every scientist in political science understands that the one who holds weapon is the one of decision, who take decisions, and they do not want, they will never deliver the rockets and the tunnels and the Kalashnikovs and the terror means and explosions to the hands of Palestinian Authority. They are stuck to the idea of Palestinian, of Islamic caliphate, very, very likely, very, very similar to the story of Al-Qaeda, Islamic State, Islamic Jihad and others. from the same school of Muslim Brothers. They actually managed to get support and money from Turkey, from Iran, from zakat foundations all over the world. So the money arrives to Hamas, to the management of Hamas, to the leaders. You can get they have the money. The problem is the people under the rule of Hamas. They are handicapped. They are taken as hostages under the Hamas rule. They cannot do anything. There are a lot of economic disaster down there, but Hamas enjoys all facilities and they live well under these contributions.
All right, well, then it'll be very interesting to see how these sanctions actually play out as they do in the coming days, and hopefully we can have you back here to discuss them when they do. Until then, Dr. Berko, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.